Hello, everybody, and welcome to Project Love Sky. Today, I am in my VTuber form because I just felt like having fun with my VTuber avatar. And I know that Halloween has passed, but I often like to find excuses to celebrate for as long as I can, and knowing that energies don't just end on midnight of a particular day. It phases in and out, so we are here for a timeless reading to see what messages of love, support, encouragement your spiritual teams, your guides, or your etheric friends has for us today. And before I get started with the tarot readings, I will be talking a little bit about the information that I have researched about the celebration of Halloween and the Day of the Dead, or the celebration of the spirits. That and the correlation between the different cultures, and some of the details that I found that you may also find interesting. And then we will get into the messages from the crystal, which you have here, the smoky quartz. Oops, I don't have my flash on. Let me turn on the flash so you can see that when the cards and the crystal and everything. There we go. Okay. So we will also get into the messages from your crystal, which is today the smoky quartz. And yeah, so if you would like to skip to the tarot readings, feel free to do so. I will leave the timestamps below in the description box as usual. However, I'd really recommend for you to stick around, because sometimes usually the messages come through even before the tarot readings, and they more or less usually have like synchronistic meanings and relations to the actual tarot reading. So if you're not in a hurry, I would recommend that you stick around. Yeah, so let's get started with my mini research on Halloween, and which may help explain to you a certain like role of this particular energy or frequency that we are going through. I personally was called during Halloween to do my own personal work, so I didn't get to do your pal on time for Halloween, but it often, like, my guides and specifically your guides might work in this particular way, where on the actual important date they want you to use the energy for your own inner growth and for your own healing, and therefore the recaps or the lesson summaries will come after the actual how do you call it, like, significant dates, holidays, say like moon, lunar calendars and stuff. Like, at least my guides have been working with me in that particular way. So maybe for yourself, you might find that on days with important frequency shifts, you may be called to actually use it towards strengthening your foundation, instead of using that energy to help or extend a hand. And they're having me talk about this probably because maybe some of you have the same similar journeys as I do. And I used to really feel guilty of not being able to show up or do the work, the path of service on dates that other people might show up to do it. But then they all, like, it happened too many times until I realized that they wanted me to as an act of self-love, use that frequency for myself. And therefore, when we strengthen our own soul, when we heal our own wounds, we are more of service and we are more of help in like on a bigger like picture. So if you do have those kind of judgments or self guilt, like self blame or some guilt in terms of sometimes when there are like eclipses, new moons, full moons, or important days like this, that you find that your work is more inward, it actually is what your inner self intuitively knows is best for you. So please trust that guidance from yourself as well. And I am hearing that the spirits, your etheric friends, are actually very supportive of you working in this particular way, because we like learning through experience is the most important. So when sometimes like for me at least, I often put out recap videos of the energies that had passed, because I wouldn't want to take away that opportunity that you can learn first by the first-hand experience. And I feel like any encouragement and supports would most of the time comes after you have gone through that personal experience. So that's the first message for someone who is listening. I think you will know who you are if you have, been through a similar journey. And let's get into the Halloween. So many cultures actually celebrate Halloween, or, they have a specific date to celebrate those that have passed on, the non-physical, those that are on a different frequency on the other side during the months of October to November. So there are a lot of festivals of the same natures, of the same dedicated to the non-physicals during these two particular months. And for example, in India, they have the Karti Gray. So I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. The Karti Gray is also dedicated to like a festival of the dead, of the non-physical. And actually that name translates to the Pleiades. And in Egypt, they had a festival as well. And stick with me here. It might seem like a bit of a reach, but I personally found that it makes a lot of sense. There's a festival called Athor Ai in November. So it is also like a festival of the dead for the ancient Egyptians. They celebrated this in November. And the word Athor Ai is Hebrews. However, the root, which is Athor, Athor, is Egyptian. And there's also another similar word of a different root language called Atoria, which is Arabic. And actually, Atoria means the Pleiades as well. And so there may have been some passed on similarities or root language that, at the end refers back to the Pleiadians or the starseed collective, the non-physical collectives that we now refer to them as the Pleiadian. There are also tribes in Australia who celebrate and honors the Pleiades around these particular times as well. Like, I'm not sure if it's October or November, but they specifically dedicated this celebration to the Pleiadian, and that they worship, and they I think the Aborigines too say that their root ancestors were Pleiadian. And I believe there are also other tribes in New Zealand that connect and and have recorded their origins being from the stars. So there are so many other, like, I will leave the link of this video that I found down in the description box, but I believe there's also a festival in Mexico that celebrates like in older times that they celebrated the non-physical. However, a lot of the symbolisms in there were pretty much like Pleiadian related. So if you have found this video, you may understand pretty well the concept of starseed, or you may be pretty much familiar with their energy and their frequency, no matter how you identify them as. Some of them may work with you or present themselves initially to you as an Egyptian god or goddesses, because the Egyptians in like the temple of Hathor, there were a lot of Pleiadian depictions in the ancient art in these historical sites. Some of them may came through to you as, you know, like straight up star beings, or you may work with like the Greek god Hermes, who is also the symbol of like being a messenger, or the Egyptian god Thoth, which is the equivalent of Hermes, god Hermes in Greece, in Greek mythology. I don't know if I pronounced his name right. I don't really, I haven't connected much with him. Is it Hermes? Hermes? I'm sorry, I probably have like pronounced like it as like a fashion brand name. So Hermes, I think, right? Yeah. But then like you know your stuff, you know your stuff. And there are many more cultures also celebrating around the same time, like Festival of the Dead, celebrating the spirits, the non-physical. And people have been trying to trace back how this got started, how come like humanity as a whole decided to celebrate this one thing across the time span of within these 2 months. You know, and it just spread it. Like they don't really understand where the origin, like who actually started it, but across so many cultures there were traces of these celebrations having something to do with the stars. And I was also led to look into, like, even before I found this information, they kept telling me to look, like, when I do watch other tarot readings, and they keep telling me to watch the sign Taurus. And I'm like, I don't even, like, Taurus doesn't even have like that much significance in my chart from my understanding. And so I didn't watch it. Like, I didn't know why they kept telling me to watch the sign, like to watch like Taurus readings. And then I found out that Atoria has a very has a correlation with the actual star constellation, the star Taurus. And at these times during October to November, if you know your astrology, or if you understand planetary movements, which I have a very mediocre knowledge of, I am not an astrologer. Apparently the star system that is the Pleiades are having significant movements at this time. And through these different cultures, they often find that in their drawings that celebrate or you know, their relics, their cave paintings, they will depict a bull, which is of course representing, like, it's usually like a star, a sky chart, and they draw like the Taurus stars with the Pleiadian star system right on the shoulder or just right on the bull's eye. And for some reason, our ancestors knew that it is a significant astronomical event for the star system Pleiades during these 2 months. And if you look at the planetary movements, even until today, you will still see that the Pleiades are moving, are still, in that cycle annually up until now. And what's really interesting is, oh yeah, so check your Taurus signs, check where they fall into in the natal charts, and check what house it falls into, how, like, they're just saying there's some area, some information that could help you understand your journey and the things that are unfolding around you right now easier. Or maybe they just left messages for you in a video that is of, like, that you usually would not gravitate to because it's not your sign. So maybe check the videos that has like Taurus zodiac signs on it. And they wanted me to really explain another significant like activity in the sky to kind of ensure you that, we believe that the veil is thinning during the Halloween, and it is the thinnest during Halloween. However, since you see that all these cultural celebrations are like scattered across these 2 months, they want me to show you. I'll show you the screen cap that I screen grabbed it from this video that I'm going to link for you. So check the description box if you're interested. Maybe pause the video and watch that one first, so you may have like kind of a general idea of what energies we are working with today. So just as a short, and this video, this I took from the video by Randall Carlson. So thank you very much for this information. And just a quick, like, if you want the full detail, watch his video. I'm just showing you the many festivals, and I think there are more, but like the many festivals across cultures that celebrate the same things, that are during late October to November. And let me put this away. So another important activity in the sky what I was saying is that your guides, so your etheric teams, they just wanted to confirm you that the veil doesn't just becomes like, it doesn't thicken overnight, okay? Like you have an abundance of time to actually work with this frequency, and you probably would have until, like, I would say November 17th, and you will understand why I'm saying November 17th. But actually, for some of it could even be longer than that. It could even be longer than that. So during this time, there's actually a meteor shower happening that has been happening since, for this year, the 10th of September. and it is going, like the Earth is going to travel through this meteor shower, or comet debris, until the 10th of December actually. But it depends on if you live in the northern or the southern hemisphere. When it peaks for you, when you're going to be able to see it the clearest, it depends on where you live. So check that. But there is a torrid meteor shower. So again, that also kind of confirmed to me like why they asked me to watch the sign Taurus. And I'm like, oh, okay, there's a meteor shower by the same name. So there must be something there. And the reason it was called the torrid meteor was because when back in the days when people tried to trace the origin of this meteor shower, with just their eyes, or with just their understanding of the stars back in the day, they tried to trace it back to the pinpoint. Or even now, if you look, I believe if you look closer to it, there is like, it looks like it comes out from the star, the constellation that is Taurus. However, the meteor shower actually comes from behind it. So it's just like a group of comet debris that's been circulating the cosmos because it broke off a bigger comet. And so a lot of cultures may have celebrated this as the Day of the Spirits because, there's a bunch of meteor showers in the sky, and like, who knows what humans thought those were back in the days. They might have thought there were like spirits flying in the sky, However, like this particular meteor shower, if you live in the southern hemisphere, it already peaked during the 10th to 11th of October. So you may have had some significant events that happened during that day. That has to do with your sign Taurus and the house that it falls into. However, it is going to last, like, it started since the 10th of September. It's just, it wasn't visible to us. And it's going to end for the southern hemisphere on the 20th of November. If you live in the northern hemisphere, that is the 12th to 13th of November. So this upcoming 12th to 13th, or if you're watching this, at a different time, this is a timeless reading. So they might just want you to look back at the last Halloween, or just give you this information so you could prepare for the next time this energy comes around. So if you live in the northern hemisphere, so the peak's on the 12th to the 13th of November. However, the meteor shower would have started since the 20th of October to the 10th of December. So there's actually a big time span where Earth is either surrounded or either still going through this comet debris or this like activity in the sky. And so I would say look at what happened on the 10th to 11th of October. Look and maybe see if you have some plans to do something that excites you and you're looking for a good timing. The 12th to the 13th of November could be particularly good days. Not to say that any other day is not. It's just that there may be something significant for you. And that's why they're asking me to put out these dates. And I believe the last festival celebrates Halloween or this. Wait. Yeah, I forgot last time I read in the other video that I did in Thai. It was also the 17th of November, but I don't remember why. Oh, yeah. So in Mexico, they celebrate it on November 17th. I really don't remember why. Let me check my notes. But last time they told me to also to also watch out for November 17th as well. They're bringing it up again, even though I don't really know. I can't remember why. So November 12th, 13th, and 17th. And what I found that could be interesting or useful to some of you who are looking into expanding your information is that the Taurid meteor shower is they're a group of like cometary debris, right? That Earth travels through every year. And so when it's during peak, it just means that Earth is traveling through the part of the meteor shower that has the most density, and therefore we can see it more clearly in the sky. However, when we're not seeing it, it's still traveling through it during the dates that I have told you earlier. And these group of meteor showers was left by a comet called Anke, which used to be a part of an even bigger comet. And so before we get into that, they also just wanted me to tell you that they're just reconfirming you that at this time, if the energy seems like things are slowing down, or your manifestations or your creations coming into physical form seems to be a little bit slower than it is usual, and that go at the same pace as the sky is going. So like this meteor shower, you have such a big energy, a big period of being able to harvest this energy with the Pleiadians and with these planetary movements of the Pleiades constellation and the sky activities. So take a lot of time in whatever you are looking to create or to bring into your life experience, because you do have time. In fact, actually, you may benefit more from slowing down, or you may benefit even more from taking it like slow and steady. So at this time, I would say like slow and steady wins the race, because it doesn't just end at Halloween. The energy stays for quite some times. So yeah, they wanted to reaffirm you in that area. If you have a project coming up, if you have some new creations, you have at least until mid-November or a little bit before late November even, to actually bring this whole whatever you're looking to receive as your earthly experience. You actually have a lot of time to think about it, to make decisions, to prepare for it, okay? And when I saw the comet's name, I immediately recalled the name of this god, Enki. And then I suddenly just like went and looked up the information. Let me check a little bit. So I kind of took that as a synchronicity, and I went ahead and looked into that god, which I've heard of his name, but I've never known who he is or what connections he has to to anything that I am learning. And I found out that he actually does, because I've been led to looking more into the Anunnaki gods, or the Anunnaki giants. And Enki is actually one of the Anunnaki gods. So he's one of the primordial ancient beings, energy that has been around for a very, very long time. If you don't know who the Anunnaki gods are, I would highly recommend you look into that information and practice your discernment as always, and just see what's useful to you and what could help you understand this journey more. However, with this, I would also recommend that you look specifically into Enki. But the messages that I got was that he is actually a Sumerian god. Also, some know him as the Anunnaki god. He has many other names. I don't know how to pronounce those. I don't really know how to pronounce those. But he's usually depicted with a horn helmet. So again, that Taurus energy. And with a stream of fish. Like you'll see pictures of him in ancient Sumerian architectures, with him sitting on the throne with a horn, and then with a horn helmet and a stream of fish, which reminds me of course, the torrid meteor shower, where they look like light lit up fish flying through the sky. So his symbol in Babylonian culture was a turtle. So if you have, if you might have, your spirit animal may be a turtle. You may have like a pet turtle, or one of your spirit etheric friends may be like a pet turtle who had passed away, or a pet turtle that you had as a child. That's very specific for some of you. And I'm just getting this very cheerful energy, and they just wanted to say thank you. You looked after him or her very well. And yeah, there's just like, you did your best, and they couldn't ask for more. They're just very grateful to have had that experience on Earth. That's for someone who had a pet turtle who had passed away. So let me take a sip of water, because that was a little bit unexpected for me. Yeah. And again, the turtle talks about, taking it slow, like how, that story. I'm getting that story of the rabbit and the turtle, where like the rabbit sprints to the finish line. However, he falls asleep before he gets to the finish line, and therefore the turtle is going to win that race. That's almost like a spiritual metaphor, right? If you sprint to get some kind of glory, victory, you may end up, like, metaphorically speaking, spiritually asleep before you get to that line. So take your time and make sure you're wide awake. And we know that like sleep is cyclical, right? And our spiritual awareness stages are also cyclical. So there's really no such thing as someone being awakened or asleep. It's just where we are at each frequency, what lessons we're learning, what our soul has chosen to experience, to learn something. And they're saying it's so, in that sense, they're just saying that they're encouraging you to take your time so that you can have as much awareness as you can possibly have to go through that finish line, to actually go and claim your grand prize, your whatever you've been manifesting. I'm getting a feeling that it's actually very big, very, very big. So that's why it's a whole system of divine protection that is trying to help you slow things down, to make sure that you maintain your awareness during this journey. You learn and understand how to work and strengthen that awareness to your most potential and abilities at this time before you enter, and claim your place on the throne, or your rightful, I'm hearing like your destiny, your destination, or your calling, your destiny. So again, that's just a confirmation that it's not the speed, it's the quality of your journey. It's the quality of each day, each what you can learn and extract from each experience, that even if other people, if you feel like, not even other people, that's not important, but if you feel like you should be going much faster, or if you feel like you're too slow, they're saying you're actually at the right speed, or you could even benefit from going slower, so take that as a confirmation that you can actually adjust your pacing as you intuitively feels is just right for you. And so back to Enki. He was also dated back since the Mesopotamian time. He's known as the god of water, knowledge, creation, wisdom, magic, incantations, ritual knowledge. He's the patron of arts and crafts. He's also the patron deity of cleansing or cleaning. So he's a deity for like cleaners as well. So one could say, transmuters, energetic transmuters, healers. We are in a way cleansing or cleaning frequencies for this planet and this particular timeline of reality. So that's why they're helping you kind of really hone this skill to take it slow and transmute and cleanse your frequency as much as you can before you step into a role that could be life-changing, before you step into the role that could shift your entire reality. So they're ensuring your strength, and they're helping you build character and build a strong foundation for a sustainable growth in the long run. Okay. And some of you may be writers. You may also work in a path of service where you're helping. You could be energy healers. You could be some kind of, a shaman, like some cleansing of energies. You could also have a very you could have quite a developed you've developed your own rituals, like the knowledge of what you're doing in terms of ritualistic practices. They're saying you have you have a knack for that, and you know how to do it in a way that best supports your growth, and they want you to keep doing that. Some of you work really well with affirmations, incantations, written, spoken, or even like not, if you're just reading it, like not having to read it out loud, but something to do with scripts, words, like they're giving me, okay, some of you may be like, you may have abilities to access the Akashic records. I'm getting the word scribes, and that's if you do work with guides that have to do with Akashic records, like Archangel Metatron, who is known to be, the divine like scribe, or any other gods. You might have that ability to access the Akashic, and are learning to understand how to use that to serve and to grow for yourself, and for that to be beneficial, to be in the most like benefit to the people you're looking to help or to pass on the love. Yeah. So that's why they really want you to take time, because your role is really important from what I've heard. You're transmuting, you have the abilities to, cleanse energy. So some of you may refer to that as how do you call it? Energetic surgery. Like, you may also have connections with the Arcturians, the Andromedans, known for, like healing of the self, of the physical, and healing others of like illnesses that otherwise couldn't have been healed with traditional medicine alone. So they're saying you have a combination of all these things. And therefore, it takes time to refine, to fine-tune your abilities. And that's what they want you to really focus on right now. That's what they would highly recommend, that if you're open to learning from your etheric friends, they will share with you their knowledge for as much as they can on like a balanced, respectful ways to work with the Akashic records, the ways to understand your rituals even more, the ways to use your expressive outlets to, as a messenger that you are, to pass on your knowledge and wisdom in a way that is fun and loving to yourself and others. Yeah, because a lot of you must, like, your main role could be that of a messenger, and that is why you've been led to this video at the time where the Pleiadian energy is very strong. When I connected, they kind of like, I got the feeling that this actually is like one of those energies people might call a stargate energy or star portal energy, which just means that the frequency of that planet or of that density dimension is closer to Earth and is more accessible, and we're able to communicate with those non-physicals in that density much easier at these times, for them to assist us and help us or share with us some valuable things. And therefore, Halloween to me could just be the Pleiadian Stargate. Or if you're not working from the Starseed Collective perspectives, then just know that your guides, this particular collective of guides that you have been working with, that has helped you understand your role as a messenger and has always been helping you get your messages across, speak your truths, and stand in your authenticity and convey that to others in a form through various creative outlets, or just by speaking what you know. That particular group, their frequency has something to do with the constellation of Pleiades, and Pleiadians are known as, messengers. So given all that, no matter what, or how you work with your guides, how you work with your non-physical friends, they're saying they're the same frequency. And they're the same collective, that their MO is like the messengers, like they know how to get messages across. And so in these particular readings, they're going to help be the to mediate that. And in that sense, it means that the messages that comes through today might partially be from the Pleiadians. However, as the mediator, what their role is just to get the messages across. So you may have got your other etheric friends, other collective soul tribes, from which I don't even want to identify them as starseeds anymore, or as any particular, like they're just love energy, right? But so let's just say there are other love energies, other universal energies that through the assistance of this particular collective that we now know as the Pleiadian are helping them relay a certain message that needs to get through to planet Earth and to you. So whoever you feel like is talking to you, it's that guide, okay? Unless they specifically step in front with an identification for me, then I will relay it. They're telling me for some of you, these are just the labels that they would be like, they're giving me these identifications just because you may still benefit from learning something about them. So the Lyrans, you may have come from my latest reading, which was the Lyran energy, or that collective of frequency. Yeah, am I gonna list all of it? They're giving me a lot of names. Okay, I'm just gonna name drop them. I'm gonna name drop them. I don't know why they're giving me a lot of names today, but usually they won't. The Lyrans, the Syrians, the Andromedans, the Acturian. Anybody else? The Orions. And Mintakan for some of you. So, and your other collectives in terms of ancestors, right? Even from ancient civilizations, they keep telling me like Atlantis, Lemuria, Egypt, or anything before that that you may or may not be accustomed to. Like the Mesopotamian, Sumerian, Babylonian period. Highly possible. Because I'm not familiar with that energy, but they're just straight up giving me names. So, well, yeah, that was fun today. They were just name dropping. So that might have helped some of you confirm some of the questions you've just had, or it could just be a stepping forth so that you understand and you're able to establish that link frequency wise, energetically to them, to prepare for the reading, and also to know that it's them. It's like you know them, you've worked with them before. However they may step forth today with or without a name, or just as love energy through the messengers collective. Yeah. So we'll get started with your messages from your crystal and your tarot readings in a little bit. Okay. So that was about the Halloween festivities and celebrations across cultures, the relationship with the star collectives or other frequencies that are helping us today. And I'm going to try and keep the stone messages shorter because the messages that came through with our, just talking about Halloween actually was more than I expected. And yeah, so let's get started with this. Also, they wanted me to say for some of you, I did a little bit research during the break that another deity or god that was known for being an Akashic record keeper and also worked a lot with incantations or like scriptures was I did mention him. So it's the Egyptian god Thoth. So some of you may just be very familiar with his energy. Some of you may have a lot of esoteric knowledge, or simply your favorite tarot decks might just be the Thoth deck. So that could be a confirmation for someone that this reading is for you. All in all, it's just, I don't even know at this point if I sometimes feel like it's the same collective, or it's the same energy that is of, God Hermes, Thoth, Metatron, Enki. It could just be like the same guy or the same collective. And that's just, my personal connection of working with them and sensing their frequency. They could be a group of guides that are working in the same area in that particular density of the quantum field. So with this, I was drawn for your pal to the smoky quartz, and so I'll let you see your stone. So you can tune into your love energy, to your heart center, and to your totem today. And the element of this stone is actually earth element. However, I feel like you may also be working a lot with the fire element, given that this is the symbol of the fire element. So earth and fire. So grounding in your manifestation, having your energetic wishes be brought from waves into particles. So having it become from the vortex into your earthly experiences, into something you can touch, feel, and experience. The energy centers that are often associated with this stone is the root energy center and the sacral energy center. So a lot to do with understanding your necessities, embracing your human sides, your human desires, your human natures, to become fully human and fully divine, right? That's the goal here. We can't ascend our human status while we're in a human body. So how do you love and work with that nature? How do you become fully human and fully divine, as above and so below, right? And sacral energy center, of course, has to do a lot with digesting information, understanding the knowledge that is being given to you or that's being shared to you, allowing that to settle into your reality and understanding how to work with the new information or the new input, and also releasing, because the sacral energy centers at the area where your organs are mostly about digestions and eliminations of what you no longer need. So in that sense, I feel like there's also a lot of releases and cleansing the frequencies or the energies that are no longer serving you in your life. And this, to me, I feel is mostly, like I always say, it is mostly an internal thing. It is mostly an energy within us, an old program, an old mindset, limiting beliefs, or a version of ourselves that we have already outgrown, and is looking to and is waiting to be reintegrated into something new. Okay, so that's the energy centers that are represented by the smoky quartz. However, they wanted me to share that for me personally, these are like hints of like areas of inner self-awareness that you could keep in mind. However, they would still recommend that if you'd like to help your guides energetically, the most beneficial thing you could do is keep charging your heart energy center, so that your battery is full, and that your light body, your oversoul, and your guides and your etheric friends can help assist. Like the light body knows, it's like a homing system, just like stem cells, right? The light body knows where that life force is needed most, and it will send to regulate, to strengthen, to expand, to clear all the other energy centers as needed. So you, as the love generator that you are, your main job or the main area of expertise that you could really contribute to this is keep charging up your life force through love, through your heart energy center, and keep opening your hearts. The zodiacs that are associated with smoky quartz are Capricorn and Scorpio. So maybe we did talk about in the beginning, if you've skipped the part about the Halloween, you could really benefit from looking into the sign Taurus and also maybe Capricorn and Scorpio, and to see maybe you have a natal, like a birth chart that's really heavily like Capricorn based or Scorpio based, or just those houses, the houses represented by Capricorn and Scorpio, and the houses that your Capricorn sign, so your Scorpio sign falls under, could have a significant that there could be information there from that once you digest that information, it will make sense of a lot of things for you. The stone also has to do with groundedness. So again, like I said, connecting, like not only being open to new experiences, new manifestations, or things coming into your reality, are putting your energy into places where it helps bring forth more creations or assist that process of waves in the vortex becoming particle forms and taking shape in the physical reality, but also connecting to the frequency of Gaia. And I would recommend, check out the frequencies of Gaia, the tune, like maybe listen to music that has, the Gaia frequencies. And for me, the one person who really helped me understand more about the Gaia connections, or how to connect more to the electromagnetic field of the planet Earth. As we all have these electromagnetic field as organic beings, the planet itself has its own electromagnetic field, and every other planet has their own resonance frequency that can be scientifically measured. For Earth, the base resonance frequency is at 0.1 hertz. So it is a very low frequency, and that's maybe sometimes when you feel called to ground, it is that very, not dense, very light, but low frequency that keeps you in tune with this planet. Because no matter where you are or where you've been learning in your soul's journey, right now your soul have chosen to learn here on this particular planet that we call Earth or Gaia. So connecting to its oversoul, to Gaia's oversoul, could be something that helps you understand how to navigate this realm, how to navigate this experience. And they're saying you've had successfully connected to multiple oversouls of other planets in other lifetimes, in other parallel universes, however you'd like to call that. And you're just doing it again. You know how to do it, so you're just gonna put that skill to use and establish an energetic alignment with this planet, with the oversoul of this planet. Okay. This could also, for some of you, be done through the more understandings of the Earth Star Chakra, or the Earth Star Energy Center, that is the energy center that goes below the root chakra. It is outside of your physical body. It is a part of it's within your light body. And the Earth Star Chakra is exactly that. It allows you to connect and be in tune with the frequency of each planet. So hence the name Earth Star. And I feel like that's also why they've been cleansing your lower chakra, your lower energy systems, because once that strengthens, you'll be able to move more in tune with the electromagnetic field of this place, of this environment, and utilize your skills and and move in a way that is in flow and in harmony with the earthly experience. It also has to do with getting emotionally involved, or for me that spoke about reintegrating back into the world. So you may have had a very, like, quite an intense period of solitude, of self, like, introspections, of inner growth, of like ascensions after ascensions, let's say. Your guides training you, your guides preparing you, and like helping you integrate with the self. At this time, the reason that you're also being called to connect to the planet and its environment is because you're also being prepared to reintegrate with the population, or the world, basically, to reintegrate into human, into, in your path of service, which is for you to be able to do what you do best, alongside other people. And it has to do with also protection. So for me, when your guides, when they call out a protection stone, it means there are some fears within us that they want us to look at. So why do you look for a protection outside of yourself? Because of course the divine protection is always there, but it is a two-way thing. The other part of that equation is the protection from inside out. So outside in, yes, you receive their protections, but what about the inside out part? That's the only that's the kind of protection only you can give to yourself. So understanding that you are strong enough and you have learned so much. I'm telling you, like, your energy, you've learned so much that at this point you're able to be your own protection, to be to bring yourself to calmer waters, to bring yourself to a harmonious place and a path of least resistance. So in that sense, they're saying if you have any other fears of reintegrating into the world or of connecting to Gaia, I'm getting some of you like feel like you don't want to get attached to this planet, and therefore you don't feel like you'd like to connect at such a deep level. However, they're saying it's not a binding connection. It is just a communication system that you will be able to establish. And once you are able to allow yourself to just get to know Gaia a bit more, your the understanding of your role here, your part here, and why your soul has entered this realm will be a bit more clear for you. Apart from that, of course, it has to do with calming and cleansing, clearing of the energy centers of your emotional stagnant energies. So again, like Enki we talked about before, he was also the deity of cleansing and cleaners. So if you are already a natural transmuter of energy, and I feel like for you that particular gift has been developed pretty well, and you've been utilizing it like in a very productive, supportive way to your soul's growth. And they're saying they're really proud of you, and they encourage you to keep doing that and keep, being the transmuter of love that you are, because like that gift that you have is something that not only helps uplift your own soul, uplift your own frequency, but it also helps uplift the frequency of the planet, just by you transmuting yourself, because the way you interact with the world changes, the way you respond to events, people, and experiences would also change. And you, as the energy generator or the love generator, is going to be able to generate more love energy wherever you go. And that in itself, even without you doing anything or acting upon anything, you're already serving the world just by being you. So if you're someone who identify with being a light worker, this is also an area that they would like you to kind of look at your work in a different way, because to me it's like I don't identify myself as anything, because I enjoy working freely and free of labels, and just like, in my, that's just my natural state. So if you identify with that concept, yeah, I just got a solar plexus surge. You probably, there's a lot of, I understand that it is something that you proudly uphold and value. I'm not saying that you can't or you should not identify to those those identifications. It's just my personal choice that I had not that I work freely. And it's just that if you feel like you're only doing your light work or in a path of service by doing something, or by having a purpose, or by fulfilling all these roles of the light workers, right? Like transmuters, light keepers, way showers, Akashic record keepers, grid workers, ley line transmuters. There's so many. And if you find that you feel like you always have to be fulfilling those roles, if you have worked with the keep work your light oracle, you would have heard this sentence, right? Like, light workers is serving the world by being you. And that's the whole energy of the age of Aquarius, which is you serve the world not by doing anything, not by accomplishing any task, job description, or role. It is not work that you do, it is life that you live. It is you just being you, and the embodiment of that energy already sends out positive frequencies. It already emanates love, already uplifts energetically anything that touches your magnetic field, your electromagnetic field. So in that sense, you are always light working, you even when you're doing nothing. And actually, from my understanding, a lot of the light worker path, some people, like and I'm saying this because I used to do this with myself, that I was trying to find purpose, I was trying to find what to do, and I still find myself falling back into that program at times. However, I've kind of come to learn that it is not a thing that you do, it is not a task, and it is not your job, it is not your role, it is who you are. And who do you want to be? Like, just by being, like, just being, doing nothing, and you still know that you've already fulfilled what you've came here to do, And if some of us, I even used to get stuck in that stage, and I've heard that a lot of light workers have been stuck in that stage where they keep finding what their purpose is. And even like with Dolores Cannon, I think her name is, when she worked in hypnotherapies with people to help them understand their past lives, the number one question was like, what is my purpose? And I think it came from the second wave of volunteers that would ask this question a lot. And that could be, I relate more to the second wave, and I feel like you may be someone who benefit from understanding this concept. So look at the Waves of Volunteers by Dolores Cannon. But simply, the second waves of volunteers, you are energy generators. That means you don't have to do anything. Just be you and generate love as much as you can. And the thing with the second waves of light workers and volunteers is that we often think that we often want to have a purpose and find, like, what am I meant to do? And then Dolores was like, Nothing. You just be yourself and be loved, like be in love energy. And because whatever frequency you're in, whatever emotional state you're in, that's what you generate. And if you're a light worker and if you understand this concept and if you feel like it resonates to you, it might be useful to you, because you will see the value that you offer just by being in positivity, in love frequencies, even when you're not doing anything. And maybe you can slow down your other activities a bit more by with that understanding. Okay. Anything else I would like me to say before I get started? Yeah, and maybe that's why your gift as a transmuter is so strong, because you understand that your soul understands that you as the energy generator, the love energy that you've chosen to embody requires transmuting anything that no longer aligns with love. So you can freely embody love and have love like emanate from you at all times. Like nothing can turn it on, nothing can turn it off. And that's why maybe a lot of the work that you do is actually behind the scene, which means you may not be, creating things for in path of service. You might not, have, like, you may not be called to create or do something on a regular basis, like in terms of like a schedule, like some people would, because your main priority, your main task is keeping your own frequency in a good place. Because you are, your strength is that of a generator. Like whatever you send out, you really do send that out, and you send that out like in tenfolds, because that's your nature. So I feel like in that sense, yeah, I feel like that's all they wanted to say in terms of the stone, and a little bit about their gratitude and their helping share. So like helping reaffirm you that it's okay to take time to take care of yourself, because that's already a part of what you came here to do. And just being you, being the love energy that you are, you're already fulfilling what you came here to do. So before I get started with the tarot, the cards already filled out, but okay, they want me to read like this. Okay. Please know that anything I do here, you can also do them as well, because you are always connected to the love energy and the energy of the universe. And please trust your intuition. If any guidances, like any guidance messages, intuitive knowings come to you during my reading, because whatever you get through your energy center and through your direct connections are the best synchronicities and the best communication, mode of communication between you and the universe. It will be better and more accurate than anything I could give you here through my energy channels. So even if something I say today, you feel like it's not for you, or you have a different knowing, then trust that, because your intuition is the most accurate and important guidance. And we'll see what the universe has for us today. It's stuck. This wants to come out too. Oh, 3 opened up. Is it 3? No, I don't feel like these 2 are just those. By the way, this is the future ancestor tarot. And this is the Star Temple Oracle, which is the Pleiadian energy. If you're wondering why I'm using a Pleiadian Oracle during a Halloween reading, watch what we talked about earlier, and you'll kind of understand the connection. It was pretty, like, they went into detail about it, so I'm not going to repeat it here because it's going to be too long. I feel like this one really wants to come out. Ooh, you have two of the same star, Pleiadian star. Just like the one I did in Thai, like two of the same Pleiadian star came out. No, it's the same card as last time, so I'm gonna shuffle first. This is the Angel Dreams Oracle cards. And the spread today is a different spread than I usually would read. I was called to read it in the other Thai video in my native language. But I also feel called to use it for you as well. So we're going to be using the spread, and I'll let you know what it means in a bit. Okay, let me put away some of the cards so I have more room for all of your cards here. Yeah, I feel like that's fine, right? You can see all the cards. So we're going to be doing a reading for the mind, body, and spirit, just to see what your guides have as loving encouragement gifts for you today, in these three area that allows you to have that trinity of love, of self-love and the love of life. I feel like some of you may have a strong connection with the number 3 because the triangle stone came out, and we're also using 3 different decks today. So either number 33, number 3, you might benefit from understanding the master number 33 and the synchronistic messages from that, or from understanding what life path 33 means. So those could be synchronicities that the universe have been trying to guide you towards. Oh, also, before I continue, they wanted me to say that with the second waves of volunteers, you as the energy generator, actually your nature of how you serve, and when your energies like the purpose of being an energy generator means you have to be among people, for that energy to be shared, right? To be among, working with a collective, working with a group of people, or engaging in social activities of any kind, or just being in public with your energies. However, the funny thing is, the second waves of volunteers, they hate people. They don't want to go out. Like, they usually would rather keep to themselves and be a hermit. And that's the irony, that we're you may be someone who's a very strong energy generator of love, but you wouldn't want to be in a place where where that gift can really benefit people, because you might not enjoy being in a social setting or interacting with so many people. However, once you're able to do that, your gift's gonna truly shine. Like, your path could really change in a big way. So it comes with understanding and learning how to trust your own inner protection and your own inner strength, that once you take that energy into a collective or into a space where you can share it, that you still have the strength to maintain it, or not, or even like strengthen it in those places, during those interactions. So maybe look into the second waves of volunteers. When I first listened to her talk about it, I broke down and cried because like it resonated with me so much, and with what I know, and with my what I've been shown during my path. So maybe that's something that could be useful to you. So with your mind right now, you have temperance. I feel like you have a pretty good understanding of taking it slow, like we talked about in the beginning, with the torrid meteor shower and the turtle symbology of Enki. I feel like you understand it, and that you understand that you kind of need to alchemize and transmute as the spiritual alchemy to find balance first before you can take flight, or before you can embark on this new journey. Like, deep down, your mind understand that this actually is the most logical step, and it makes sense in terms of what you internally know. However, your body, you have 6 of Swords. Suddenly I forgot what that looks like. Let me check. This particular tarot deck is a deck that I don't work with often. It's a special deck that I work with all the ancestors known and unknown. But it requires a lot of learning because all the names are different. All the depictions are different. Okay. I feel like your mind understands that you want to take it slow. But your body is like a little it's anticipating movement. Yeah. And I feel like it's a different interpretation of the 6 of Swords. That's why they called out this deck. Usually it is the people on a boat, right? But with this, it's different in terms of like, this is not about you leaving something behind or going, but more of you wanting to get ahead, you wanting forward momentum. And it's more of a body thing, which means it could be an old program that is running in the background that is more used to a faster pace of things unfolding. However, your mind, your understanding of things actually know that there's a balance that needs to be gained first. And even here you have Electra, goddess of balance, fourth next to the Six of Swords. So sometimes you forget that they are like, not forget, but they would highly encourage that you shift the focus on getting to the destination, or when you find that you're staring and really wanting to move ahead, to get to like speed up this entire process just to get to a destination, that there are things behind you, or there are things that you have been through that are lessons of balance, that are lessons that are meant to teach you more about internal balance and external balance, just the energy of balance in general. And this big shift is your mind that usually would be at the same speed as your body, because sometimes our body could get addicted to like adrenaline rushes, dopamine like flushing out constantly. So the body is still adjusting, right? There's still remnants of you wanting to go to the next best thing, you wanting to go to achieve, to like already be like through that victory line, right? But this time your mind actually aligns with your heart. Your mind had grown, like you had a breakthrough of some sort, that now your mind gets it. You gets it that it's logical to take it slow, where otherwise you might have, not thought of it this way. You might have thought that, like, I have to rush, I'm not productive, whatever those voices, those internal dialogues that weren't so supportive of you were. Right now it is more loving, more nurturing, more kind. And you have here the Oracle Seleno, which is one of the 7 star sisters of the Pleiadian. The Oracle forecast. I am the Oracle. My intuitive insights flow freely. Card number 19. Really? 19 plus 14. 19 plus 14. Is that 33? Wait. 19 plus 14. Dang. Yeah. Another confirmation. It's 33. So an upgrade. You've mastered this. Your thoughts have mastered this. And it's a big congratulations from the universe that your thoughts have aligned with your heart and with your intuitive knowing. Right? There's an alignment that's happening. And one of the successful one is your heart and your thoughts. I swear I saw this in my meditation and I didn't know who that was. And I was like, but it's a female with this really big hair, dark hair. And I was like, who are you showing me? I don't know you. And they're like, yeah, when you see me, you'll recognize me. And now there she is. Okay, maybe we'll look more into her. It's about forecast. I feel like in this path that you're about to embark on, it has a lot to do with your high priestess energy, or you as the oracle. So it has a lot to do with you using your gifts. And therefore, that's why you understand that, like, the relationship that you have with your gifts, with your spiritual gifts, with what you're able to do, what your soul has brought with you this time, It's the foundation of a lot of things, and therefore you kind of want to take time to balance that internally, logically, and in put things into perspectives first before you put those gifts to use, because the more you can align your principles, your foundations, your drives to your heart, the more you understand how those gifts could be beneficial to the self and also to other people who may receive it, who you may meet along the way. So there's an inner knowing that understands that you are very delicate and careful with how you use your gifts in your own ways, because you may be using it in you may be like incorporating it into your lives in a way that's very different from how other people would. So how you present your gifts, or how you use it, just how you approach it, and how you translate everything, how you interpret the messages, how you receive the messages, they all are adjusting, and therefore that's what your logical mind knows. And so the only, for head, heart, and gut coherence, the last element that is gonna join this force of love is your body. So they're recommending that for your body to kind of allow yourself to understand how you would like to feel in a physical level once you reach a state of balance, and teach your body how to feel that balance. So how would you emotionally, experience being in balance? How would your body feel more free? How would it feel more relaxed? How it could be more at ease when it is in harmony, when it is in balance. So understanding the that energy of wholeness will keep you going forward and give you more self-empowerment in working with the body, releasing the programs that has to do with your brain waves, your bodies. I feel like it's also again releasing a lot of the beta of your, how you may used to be operating from the beta brain waves or high beta brain waves, and to align that into a more balanced, like, of course the beta mode is a part of our brain's many brain frequencies, right? So it is still a faculty that needs to be there, and it has its own benefits. So how do you access the beta mode in a way that is the most balanced? How do you understand the energy of providing for necessities, but from a balanced whole place, and not instead of from a lack mentality or a survival mode, because that's what the high beta mode is. And therefore, when you understand that, you'll also be able to move freely between frequencies for the resting period in delta, or for communicating with spirits and with your subconscious in the alpha or theta mode, or just in your peak states in the gamma modes. Understanding the role of the beta mode that is balanced could be helpful to you. In terms of when they don't want me to say it. You have here Electra, goddess of balance, equality. I create and foster reciprocal relationships. And you also have Electra here. And here you have the dragonfly, transformation magic illusions with the yellow background, the solar plexus energy center. You're changing a lot of who you are in terms of what you identify with, what your foundation of how you're working spiritually and career wise as well, and putting together different new things to form something new that is like the unusual butterfly. And you understand that, once you teach your body to understand that when you feel at ease, you're at a higher frequency. When you feel at ease, when you feel relaxed, you're vibrating in a more loving frequency. And understand that your body signals you clues and hints for your light bodies as well, in terms of where you're vibrating energetically as a soul. I feel like because dragonflies, like, fun fact, they don't like flap their wings to fly, they vibrate their wings to fly. And that's how you're about to travel. It's traveling through vibrations, traveling by vibrating yourselves in different frequencies, in higher frequencies, in lighter frequencies. And by light, I don't mean like light and shadows. I mean like, light-hearted frequencies, like by weight, by density. You're just going through lighter timelines. You're just going through a lighter-hearted place, in a light-hearted ways of flying. And that could be one of the biggest transformation that unlocks your spiritual gifts and what you're able to actually create in this world, is really having this sink in to your body. Really have your body understand that the more it feels good, the better it is. The more relaxed you feel, the more at ease you feel, the more in alignment you are. And instead of exerting energy, pushing against energies to create things, and then your body does not feel as good as just being and doing nothing. Maybe the path is just being, to let your frequency naturally raise, or naturally come into balance and alignment. Right? So listen to your body and really give it time to readjust, because who knows for each and every one of you how long the body has been operating and has learned to function in this way to help you, right? So give yourself as much time as you've learned this to unlearn it. Give yourself as much time to release this as the time you've took to accumulate this operational programs. Okay, allow your brains to adjust naturally, allow your body chemicals to adjust naturally, because neuroplasticity takes time. And for you to wire and fire new connections and unwire unwanted, or like the connections that you no longer need in your brain, that takes time too. And by you understanding that, the more fun, joy, wholeness, peace, ease in your life, the more you can vibrate and fly in that way. It's only going to assist this process of your body release, because every time we release something big, look at that. When we release big stagnant energies, your body, it actually takes a toll on your body. Your body actually needs time to regenerate and needs time to readjust to the new programmings, because sometimes those tensions, those muscle spasms that came with our stress, that came with our emotional baggages and the healings that we've provided it, right? Once it gets released, imagine like a tension or a spasm that you held for 5 years, 3 years, 10 years. I don't know how long your body has been helping you in that way, right? So allow the body to release it in the most natural way, and they're saying like there's no need for you to put a time limit on any of these, on how long it takes for your body to recover from an energetic cleansing, from an ascension, or from a new alignment to the new timeline or new frequencies. Because when you vibrate yourself in a different frequencies, it is something that some people call jumping timelines, or accessing a new parallel possibility, parallel timeline. Your light body, yeah, like at a soul level, you're already multidimensional, and you know you can vibrate at different frequencies. It's just that the physical reality, there's a gap for realignment, for adjustment, for things to organically grow and adjust. So respect the physical reality. You may be used to things being instantaneous in the energetic realms. However, you have chosen to be in the physical world now. So respect the nature of this world. Respect the nature of this reality and your nature as a physical being. To be fully human and fully divine, you will also understand that, like, you might want to start appreciating the fact that this human experience doesn't give you instant manifestations, because if it did, it would have been very messy, given that we have so many lessons to learn as humans, and a lot of them are, challenging. And if we did have like that same ability to instantaneously manifest or make things appear, imagine the time we're going to have to spend cleaning that up. So that's again the deity of cleansing coming through, saying, it's actually divine protection, that some things come in a bit slower than it usually does, for you to adjust and align yourself to a place where you're ready to actually receive it, where you've already learned your lesson, where you've already harvested the wisdom, and you extracted whatever needed to be extracted from that learning experience. I create and foster tongue-tied. I create and foster reciprocal relationships. I don't feel like it's about a romantic relationship. I feel like it's a relationship between worlds, between you and your etheric friends. Equality. I feel like one of the things that your guides would really want you to release is putting them on a pedestal at times. They'd rather work with you from a place of genuine equality, like call them friends, call them, your classmates, call them whatever, but they don't want, they would like really appreciate if you could see them in a new light, so that the energetic transactions could be more fluent, because there is something that blocks your connection with them once you put them on a pedestal, or once you see them as being higher status than you are, and sometimes you put yourself down in those belief systems. You dim your own light by seeing them as being more bright, or just so bright that you couldn't achieve it. They want you to see that you are on equal playing grounds. You are actually two loving energy souls of the same nature, which is source and the universe and love. And they would rather create and foster that kind of relationship with you instead of, and I would say this, sometimes we have those old programs, right, where we establish codependent relationships. And I feel like with you, you understand how not to establish a codependent relationship with another human, but you are also learning how to establish that same loving relationship with your guides that is not codependent. So how they're hoping that you could leave this way of you looking at them in a sort of in you looking up to them because they'd rather be on equal grounds with you, to co-create and not to lead you, not to tell you what to do, where to go, but to really co-create on equal grounds. They're saying that's a higher frequency than you putting them in a place where you feel you can't reach. So that's for the body. And I feel like this is a part of the body because your body may have had old programs that has to do with, patterns of codependency, patterns of not recognizing the worth of your self-worth, or patterns of that you are working on building more of your self-love, more of your confidence, your self-esteem, hence the solar plexus. And this is the old program that they're saying if you can release this or set the intention to change this, your self-worth, your self-love, the way you work with them, your foundations, your principles, your drives will be much, much stronger, because this was holding you back and it no longer serves you. You've already you've already outgrown that, okay? So Electra, goddess of balance, is here to restore that balance. And they're telling me restore because I feel like a lot of you have worked with them in that way before, where you saw them as friends, you saw them as companions, or like classmates, but something along the way happened, or the collective, like, let's not say anything made it happen. Let's just say it happened. And you that old pattern of putting them on a pedestal higher than yourself just creeped back in, and they're saying it's not like you're repeating the same lesson. I'm seeing spirals. It's an outward expansion. It's an outward spiral. So this is another expansion through similar lessons, similar frequencies and programs that you're about to release that might teach you something new and something different than when you released it last time. For the spirit, you have 9 of Pentacles. It talks about the same thing. This card to me is your soul saying, that like that last pentacle is the one within. Gratitude and appreciation to the self and Gaia, the world, the classroom that you're in. To gratitude to this learning experience. You having had this chance of life to learn to uplift yourself and others. the frequency of gratitude is what your soul actually wants to really be in right now. Gratitude for everything, everyone, including the people who have hurt you, including the people who brought you contrast. You just want to appreciate and have appreciation for all of them. Because if you say you love planet Earth, but you can't love a person that's on there, how do you love the entire planet actually? So if you're working on sending love to Earth, that could help. And if someone pops up, and if you make the intention in that meditative space, or in that right in that moment, and say, you know what, I'm gonna love them all, and just send out your love energy. Yeah, you like, so many times that has worked for me in unlocking something, in surpassing myself and my old programmings. And that's how I check sometimes, if I'm saying I'm love energy, and I love the world, I love humanity, I love planet Earth, and then there's like that two people I can't love. Which, we're humans, right? We're humans. It happens. But the important thing is, once it happens, you have the awareness and you have the ability to change that. So how do you love the world again? The world and everyone, everything that inhibits the world. And that could start from loving you. Because if you love everybody else in this world, and the one person you find difficult to love is yourself, then that's where your job is, right? Not like that could mean, like, at this time, self-love is the way to go. Understanding how you could love yourself more. In whichever way, shape, form, tools you can use, pools of information, wisdom you can learn from. Because if you're the basis of that love for the world and for people, then that foundation has to be full of love. And it's okay if you don't feel full of love at times, but please know that you have the abilities and the energies and the love within your heart energy center within to always, always recharge that and expand that love for yourself more and more as you yourself expand. To see more sides of yourself. And sometimes with expansion, it comes with like an epiphany of different aspects of us, right? That we may find challenging to embrace. And I feel like those parts that once you're able to embrace and love, your capacity to embody love energy like skyrockets. And this could, for me, feel like if you also have gratitude to the world, to the people, to yourself, and you're willing to give. What about allowing reciprocal relationship? What if Gaia and your guides have gratitude for you and they would want to give you things? Are you already open to receive? Because look at her. This is like the receptive mode. And gratitude, joy, appreciation is the exact frequency that activates the receptive mode. So I feel like there could be things that your soul knows is being sent to you and through, like, with love from Gaia and from your etheric friends, from your ancestors, known and unknown, your guides, however you identify and refer to them, that you could be more open to receiving. It's just that you're used to giving, and receiving could be a bit of an unknown territory for you, or at least to receive in such capacity. I'm talking like receiving the world, big manifestation, abundance, a good life, financial freedom, well-being, wholeness, that scale of receptivity? Are you, what can you do to allow that more? How can you learn to allow that more? And maybe who can you talk to that that helps you get into the energy of gratitude, receptivity, and appreciation of life more? You know, maybe ask yourself these questions and see what gives. Because you have the morning star, radiance, and again, same goddess, Electra. I shoot for the stars, radiance is my birthright. See? There's an incoming, like, pull of energy that is coming your way. It's heading for you. It's like not heading, not coming for you, but it's a pull of energy that's meant for you. It's a pool of possibilities, a reality that is meant for you. Because of all that you have given, all that you have done, not just this lifetimes, I'm hearing multiple lifetimes, accumulated service, love embodiment, learning. But she's holding a shield. Look at this. You're just like Electra. She's funny. The Pleiadians are funny. It's almost like there's so many good things coming your way, but you're just like running at it with a shield all the time, so you can't receive it. Figure out what that shield is. What is that shield? What's keeping you from receiving? What's keeping you from letting those energy be a part of your life? How can you lower this guard? How can you lower this shield? And maybe who can help you understanding how to allow yourself to receive, so you can lower your guards. Because there's so much radiance, and this is almost like your soul's journey. Your soul wanted to come down and do this. Oh no, my card's like scratched. Your soul wanted to come down, like not come down, but enter the earthly experience to tackle this, to like really engage in this. However, it's just the old programmings that are defensive and not allowing yourself to receive those Chinese. Why? Then look at that. I just saw it. I swear, I just saw it. Shielding. Why are you shielding the unknown? There's something that's grounding, that's coming into manifestation for you, but you have an energetic resistance to it. Could be abundance, could be money related, just saying. Or being in the light means being recognized, being, center of attention, being a leader for some of you. Some of those positive energies are waiting in your vortex. They keep I'm getting visual images of you going through these, and these just keep trying to they keep trying to get to like gift you with this. They sent so many opportunities your way, and they keep trying to join your heart energy center, but then you go through all of them with your shield and you bounce them all off, or you evade them. But it's okay. It's okay. Your soul knows divine timing. If it knows that if there's still resistance, then it means you need more time to find that last seed, so you can understand fully how to move forward. And obsidian talks about protection, and like I said about when we talked about the stone, you have 2 protective stones here. Of course you're divinely protected, but and these are obsidians. No, that's tourmaline. I think that's obsidian. But when you have stones that call to you, that talks about protection, or when you feel like you want to clutch or hang on to a protection stone, it could mean there's fear frequency within you. So it's okay. It's okay. If there's fear frequency within you, and it's deep, man. Look at them. They had me put this on top of this. It's a fear that's double coded. It's something your subconscious like really is protecting. And therefore it will be revealed to you in divine timing. Your subconscious will reveal something to you in a time when you're just ready to process it. It happens every time. If something's revealed to you, it means you're ready. So trust your inner being, trust your soul, trust your subconscious, that it will reveal this double guarded fear that it's using, that is being hidden, or you have been using as a shield, as a protective defense mechanism, a stress coping mechanism maybe, but mostly as self-defense, automatic mechanism that's been going on for, I'm hearing, a long time. Once you know how to lower that shield and you establish equality and reciprocal relationships between you, Earth, and your etheric friends and other human beings, allowing them to help you out, all of them, there's a void that is going to appear. And a void, I mean an unknown, untapped potential, an area of possibilities that you have never seen. Like you would have never seen this coming. It's like a dark horse. It's like another realm of complete unknown that is just way, way out of anything you could have ever imagined. That is a big area of growth for your soul inner journey, but also for your unlocking your earthly experience here in terms of receiving a new opportunity. But it's still in the void for now. It's still in the unknown for now. It will be your guides are saying they will help reveal this to you once you learn through these 3 lessons. And wherever you feel like starting, start there. And I know they gave us a lot of information today, so whatever is at the forefront of your memory, at the forefront of your mind, and you can recall, start there. And if you do those and then they go well, and then you kind of want to pick up more of these and come back to this video and then see which other like recaps, encouragement that they gave to you through this reading today, and one by one really sit with it and see if you've been able to move the energy of these opportunities forward yet. Once you know that you've already successfully moved your frequency forward in these 3 areas, then there could be a very big opportunity coming in after you've lowered your guards. It may come in like you're telling me it's a surprise, and that's why it's in the void. Like they really wanted to surprise you with this gift, and therefore to really uplift you, to really, like, the best gift is one that's like well wrapped, and this is it. This is something that they're not telling you. They're like, even through this reading, they're not willing to talk about it, but they just said, you've got to, like, there's a gift coming. I'm not telling you when, how, where, why. Like, that's the surprise element. You don't even know what's in the box. They're wrapping this very tight, very well, with like 100 ribbons on it. You take your time to unwrap it. But they're reassuring you that it's a gift. And the unknown is where the growth lies. So I'm seeing so many big changes coming in for you in your lives. I feel like that's it. And we've gone on for so long in today's video. It's been a while since the videos this there's so much messages coming through. Yeah, they've gone quiet. They're like, that's all you need to know. That's all they have to share with you. And apart from that, they're just saying, we're sending you so much love, so much gratitude. They want to thank you for everything you do, for who you are, for keeping your heart open, for you being open to like walk alongside them, to understand everything and share and exchange knowledge to help uplift all the timelines and all the possibilities. What you're doing here is opening more possibilities in the timeline, in the infinite timeline of the universe, infinite possibilities, and therefore you're opening up new possibilities that otherwise would have not been ventured, or would have not been possible as an outcome, frequency wise or energetically, in the quantum field. So you're playing a very important role here. If you did not know that, they're reaffirming and they're thanking you so much for being that, what's the word, for being that crucial role, that crucial part of this entire co-creation. It's just a lot of overwhelming gratitude. And before I end this video, yeah, I was quite surprised. Your ancestors stepping forward. With my other Thai reading, the ancestors were really, really at forefront. But today, for your pal, they came in like in a very universal galactic approach. However, given that it's Halloween, I feel like now I'm getting a visual of your ancestors, whoever's watching this, for us, because I'm not reading for myself and I'm not reading for just for you. I'm reading for us, and therefore they give all our gifts at the same time, if you understand how that works. Your ancestors, known and unknown, would like to really support you on this journey, especially so many unknown ancestors that goes just beyond your father's side or your mother's side, as in, like, how many marriages happened, how many partnerships happened before you came into this life. You can't even trace back the entire family tree of like your mother, of your mother, of your father, of your, like, and all these different co-creations, partnerships. They want you to, they hope that you can, they're just stepping forward to say that there's so many of them here for you. And if only when you need help that you reach out to them, the ancestors known and unknown, the ones you can recall and the ones you cannot, because there's power in their collective work collective being that could really help ease in your path. So I feel like they want you to all, like, maybe just clarify that when you talk about ancestors, it's much, much bigger than you may think. Like, they're saying, like, whatever you think, like, multiply that by 100 or 1,000. They're saying, like, it's much bigger than you may think, because we're all connected. And imagine the network that runs through your lineage. And that's all they wanted to say. And they don't even they're not stepping forward in terms of, like, a figure. Not for your pal. They just wanted to come, like, as a collective. So maybe from here on, you can still reach out to your ancestors that you know and can recall. However, there's more. So they're saying, like, you can still work with the ancestors that you're familiar with. However, they would, like, love to be a part of that, like, option. In when you reach out to your ancestors, you reach out to the entire network. Okay? Yeah, I feel like that's it for your reading, which is quite a lengthy video, but I feel like it's an important message that some of you really need to hear at this particular time. And thank you so much for joining me on this channel. Thank you for meeting me here today on Project Love Sky. And if you like my content, you can follow me on different social medias. I have Instagram by the same name. I also have Facebook. I post some content on there from time to time. And I'm starting out on TikTok. I've started a while ago, and then I kind of put it on hold. So I'm getting back and restarting, uploading more content on TikTok again, and you'll still see those shorts uploaded here on YouTube as well. But just in case you're someone who likes to play TikTok, I am also on TikTok under the name Project Love Sky. And I'm also on Twitch, and I live stream tarot readings for you all from time to time there. It depends on when my managers in the ether call for me to be there on Twitch. So there's no schedule, it's just divine timing schedule over there. And if you like my style of content, if you like my reading and have enjoyed these videos, please consider helping me by pressing like, pressing subscribe, or hit the notification bells for future reminders of when I put out more content. And if you would like to support me, I also have my the links to my tips and my support channels down below. It would be my PayPal and Ko-fi. And I've also just opened Patreon to test that out. So whichever way you feel, if you'd like to support me, the links will be down below. And yeah, I feel like that's it for today's reading. Thank you for hanging out with me. I know it is a lengthy one, and so thank you so much for investing your time and your energy into this growth paths and learning alongside each other and receiving messages of love and encouragement together. So may you have a blessed, beautiful journey full of love, well-being, joy, wholeness, anything you wish for, from within and all around you always. And we'll see each other again whenever the universal energy call for us to be here again on this channel, Project Love Sky. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.